right, goodest morning, to everybody paying attention. My name is Silas. This is Silas Trades. Take my boys to the park and hit the gym as well as our trading day is concluded. Yeah, we good on the vocal. You know I gotta check that every time. Make sure we straight. But I'm gonna go over. I was gonna go live. But I was in the middle of a trade. I didn't get to do that. Um, but we are going to go over this $600 trade that we took here moments ago. Um, Not $600 trade. This is actually a $400 trade. I was up 200, but all the trades, well, two of the trades I took were on Nasdaq. One was on gold, but we are going to go over the solid strategy. What I do every single morning to accumulate these profits. So here on Nasdaq, as you can see, I have my support drawn up, and I have my resistance drawn up. Uh, this is the 30-minute time frame. On the 15, I marked off this blue box, which is what I call the golden open, which is the 815 candles body, not including the wick. We marked that off as a catalyst for price direction. My rule is if it is below the golden open, with great pressure, we are selling. If it is above the golden open with great pressure and confluences, we are going upwards. So uh initially I was taking sales. You can see I put the Discord. The Discord is free. The description is the link is in the description. Looks like I'm not sharing my screen for some reason. Let's get back to that. Um, but like I said, this morning, I always start off the morning giving my initial bias, any fundamentals, which any news we have going on. So I did have my markups on the Nasdaq with the support and resistance. We were ranging there, and I had gold breaking out of resistance, and I was a little bullish on that bias. Um, but the first trade I took was 200 plus on the NAS sell because we were breaking support. We were below the golden open. Those are my really only two confluences. I didn't have my value area on, which if I turn that on here on NAS, I can take off the value areas. A little staticky for some reason. If we take off the value area and I'll put on the, I don't know why I'm sounding staticky for this. But I'll put on the value area indicator, see if that was, and as you can see here, it was a factor. I didn't have it on, but we did at 8:30 dive below the golden open. I was in sales around here because we broke and we kind of retested. So I was assuming we were going to continue to drop and hit maybe these levels, but I was initially stopped out for 200 points, $200 or so, and then I also had this as a key level. As you can see, we bounced off several times in this area, so I was hoping for the slip and slide, which I always say happens in the morning on Nasdaq. I'm not sure why I'm sounding kind of staticky right now. I do apologize for that. Uh, but this was also a key level in my mind as to we might hit this and go back up. But since we broke, I was in sales on my bias. But later I got out, and I did come back for some buyers above here. And we broke above the golden open for that 400 plus. But then I also had some. Initially, I was in buys on gold, like I said. Like I should have had my value area on, and I would have seen more confluence for the sales. As you can see, we are selling here. It looks like we might fill in this value area, touch the value area low possibly, or we might bounce off. As you can see, this is a major support area that we continue to bounce off of. But as I've said in the past, this year and the latter of the late 2025, gold has been seeing more volatility during Asian session, but I did initially get in on some buys like around this area here that got me for a little bit of profit. But the biggest trades I took were on Nasdaq, uh, buying above golden open, and we caught this was the gold buy, nice little 100, and then this was the Nas buy for 400 and something bucks. So closed out the day with a nice 615. But that's all I do every morning, keeping it very simple. We are doing what the market is doing. What we feel does not matter. We're not truly trying to predict anything. We're just trying to set ourselves up for a game plan for what may happen if we go bearish, what may happen if we go bullish. Um, as you can see, we are still buying on Nasdaq, uh, hitting the value area high. All solid strategy things. This is not ICT. This is not ICC. This is not any of those other strategies out there. This is my strategy that I've cooked up myself. You see anybody else working this strategy, they got it from me. You understand? We're marking off the 15-minute body as the open catalyst. We're marking off support, resistance. We're keeping it simple. We're looking for breakouts. We're looking for fake outs. NASDAQ always has a slip where it targets of maybe a key level, might be targeting value area, and then we go to for the direction that we're looking for. So as you can see, we hit those key levels several times. We dropped, almost hitting the value area low, which is the value area low isn't. It doesn't just mean, oh, we're going to hit that red line. This is an area. You have to think of it like this is the value area low. You have to give it some range. It's not just this red line. You have to think in terms of range, area, zones, things like that, so that you make the best entry points. And I could have definitely had a better entry point on this. Uh, and I had 7 contracts when I made that trade, which was here. We got off at like 400. If I had initially stayed with my key level point, got in here, or even got in here, so I would happen off that value area low, and maybe waited for a retest up here, it could have been a nice almost $2,000 day. So it's just about getting those entry points, not rushing. Patience is going to save you more than anything. Uh, FOMO, getting rid of that, getting rid of any emotional distractions, and just keeping it simplistic, following what the market is doing, following price action, being aware of any fundamentals that are going on, any political tensions that might be going on. It's just important to be aware of these things. Do your own research, do your own reading. Don't let the outside uh, things manipulate you too much into thinking what price might do. Dance with the market. It's also my saying. This is the solid strategy. Like I said, this is not ICT. We are not on other people's strategies. This is a foolproof system that I've built over the course of the last 3 going on 4 years as a full-time trader. So, like I said, we mark off our support, resistance, our zones. We keep things in mind, and we do what the market is telling us, and we end our day before 9:30. I've been done since 9, with a nice $600 profit. We've been going on a nice little win streak so far. Haven't been trading too much as we are only in the second month of the year, second month of the first quarter. But second week of February, I'll probably be turning up a little bit. Trying to get to those $10,000 days. I will be getting those $10,000 days. So if you're not already, feel free to join the Discord. Like I said, the link is in the description. Um, and we'll be back at it again tomorrow morning. Every morning, I'm on these charts. So if you want to learn things the simplistic way, stop overwhelming yourself with all this random information, getting things from different traders, different blogs, Instagrams, TikTok. What I'm telling you here works. So I want to tell people I've been in the game for a minute. I started my initial uh, awakening to trading was in 2020 when my wife stumbled upon it and told me about it. And when I saw people making money like this, of course I was skeptical. And there was also the IMLs, the scam. So of course I was skeptical, like many. But once you get into it yourself, you start losing that money. You start seeing that blood come about you. You know, it's all choices. A lot of people give up at that point, but it's all a growing thing. So like trading will help you grow and become the better version, the best version of yourself by putting all your faults in front of you, all your distractions, all the things that make you weaker. So if you feel weaker, that means you need to do more. If you feel overwhelmed, that means you need to simplify your strategy. That means you need to come over here and pay attention to what I'm trying to teach you. Keeping it simple, ending your day early. You don't need to be on the charts for 12 hours. We're on the charts to avoid having to waste our time like that. So, like I said, my name is Silas. This is Silas Trades at a dice $600 a day. Like I said, if you're not already, feel free to join the Discord. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. I'll try to go live tomorrow. And really be in here. So, but if I'm not live, I will do a recap. So, join the Discord, get in tune with the solid strategy, and we'll be back at it again tomorrow. Y'all take it easy.